Hi, I'm Brian Luce from the University of Arizona Fred Fox School of Music, and these are the 2020 TMEA All-State Etudes. The first one by Donjon is from the Salon Etudes and has a great deal of energy. To make all the octave jumps or the compound interval jumps, it's going to take a great deal of embouchure flexibility. I would practice all of this etude with a lot of lip slur practice. That's going to help a great deal, especially when you make the octave jumps and you're going down towards the bottom. One thing that's really important is to have really good upright posture. If you can do that, then it'll be much easier for the lower register to speak. If you're crunched down and you get to the end of a breath, it's going to crack upward. So the upright posture will really help a great deal. Just that simple extension, especially of the back, is going to help a great deal with it. One thing you have to keep in mind is the rhythm as we cross from bar 24 3/4 into bar 25. That little dotted 16th 32nd sometimes gets misinterpreted as a dotted 8/16. So be really careful after you take a breath. Because if it were in tempo, if we were going to play it in time without the breath, it's really important that you play that in that rhythm. You'll find it's easy to make that mistake, which is incorrect. So practice that and just be sure that you're playing a dotted 16th 32nd note right there. The other tricky little spots that can make this a little difficult to play, you'll find in bar 41 and 42, because it wants to jump down and we're having to deal with stability problems of the flute. So what I'd recommend is the traditional anchor fingering of F sharp. That's going to be so much easier in order to execute not only the compound octave changes, but for the fingers to be stable and the flute not to wiggle around on you. So I strongly encourage anchor fingering on that. The other thing that's going to be really, really important as you get to the end of bar 34, in playing that F, it also says in the performance guide, you don't want to play the F as a pizzicato staccato. You want to play it just so that it is brusque, but keep the color going on. So that we have that moment of that dominant chord, we have that moment where we have a little bit of lift in the air. As you get to the very, very end, and I know I played the complete etude, when you get to the very, very end, make sure you have enough air to finish and complete the entirety of the etude. It's completely apropos in bar 79 if you want to hit that downbeat and then take the breath and then complete that as a coda as you play. What I would really suggest, obviously, when you get into bar 71 is take a very good strong breath so that in this sort of preamble to the coda, you get a lot of color in it. And vibrato goes a long way in this. It allows you to give much more dynamic contrast. And even if you'd like, a little bit of a tenuto, probably at the apex, the top G that's in bar 75. You don't want to distort the rhythm so you're late, but just a little bit of a tenuto so that the judges can hear just the nice little burst of vibrato color on that G. It kind of gives a great deal of expanse. And then when you play the final element of it, as you play that top C, use your lower body to kind of help ground that low C in so that it speaks really clearly, especially since there's not really enough time to get over to grab on the gizmo right there. Just have a good solid fingering, hold the flute really, really well. And I played the end of it just so you have the context that it's not quite finished. It's a big moment of finishing the first half, and then it has sort of a comic tag to it. That was sort of the nature of these salon etudes, the Donjon, and I strongly encourage everyone to practice or find them online and play through a few of them. I think it'll give you great insight as to how you want to play this in a very capricious manner.